Ass.
Ass. So this is how we'll open it up.
Ass died 5 years ago.
Oh God.
I'm innocent. Go,
Sir, we've talked about this.
okay. I would recommend you guys go watch on YouTube. What is it known as? It's
Beyond Believability.
Beyond Believability. That's what it's called.
With Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, it's based off Beyond Belief, the TV show, the one with why am I blanking on his name?
Jonathan Frakes.
Thank you. Jesus.
I just wanted to say Riker.
I know. I'm like, what's the actor's
It's just
name?
Riker.
It's
just
Riker.
Riker.
Yeah.
Like,
It's literally just Riker. He has played no other character except Riker.
I mean, that's not true, but let's not forget he was also in The Master of Disguise.
Yeah, he played that one character, Riker.
Yes. The only disappointing part is that we never get to see him straddle a chair. Well, I mean, there's a lot of disappointing parts in The Master of Disguise, but it's the fact we never see him straddle a chair.
That's the big one.
I know we've likely talked about this before. Master of Disguise still has my favorite bit of film trivia of all time.
Yeah.
What's that?
The 9/11 thing.
Yeah.
I'll let you tell it.
So the most infamous, scene from Master of Disguise, being the Turtle Club scene, was filmed during September 11th, 2001.
Oh, geez.
Oh, shit.
So you have to imagine that there was a moment where there was, the director gathered up the cast and informed them of what happened, and there was a moment of silence while Dana Carvey was standing there dressed like a fucking turtle man.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
You will never unknow that fact.
It's true.
The next, 150 times you watched Master of Disguise starring Dana Carvey.
I don't even know what this movie is.
Oh, it's so bad. So I saw this in theaters, and here's the funny part. I know why I went to go see it in theaters is because I grew up watching Wayne's World. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen anything with Dana Carvey in a while. He was funny in Wayne's World. I should see this.
Mhm.
I was so disappointed. It is one of the worst movies you'll ever see if you ever decide to see it.
I think my
Maybe
family
not.
rented it, and that's how I saw it.
Also, the opposite end of that, I now cannot, if I am ever exposed to touching tribute footage of what happened on 9/11,
You just
my
think of
brain
that.
will immediately jump to, am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
Oh, no.
So, thank you, Dana Carvey.
Thank
Thank you.
How do I recover from this?
Cinematic masterpiece, Master of Disguise.
Are we gonna? Why don't you introduce what we're going to be reading, David?
Oh, is that?
Oh.
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know how to feel about what we're doing. Welcome to Undercooked Analysis, though. That's the show where we do the thing, which is read the stuff that you send us. I am David King, your host. I went Shatner for a second there. I'm not sure why. There's a bunch of us here tonight. We got Kaela.
Hi.
We got Alan.
Hey,
We got Seid.
You have become quite the magical girl.
Oh,
Oh my.
oh no! And we got Raevell.
Hello. Last second.
Yeah, I'm glad you could jump in for this. Basically, we haven't given too much away. People who listen to the dregs,
you were asking for a transition. Speaking of one of the greatest tragedies on American soil, we're going to be reading fan fiction today.
Hey man, there's some great fan fiction out there that's better than some of the stuff that gets published.
It is true. I actually recently reread a fan fiction that I have not read since I was 17 years old, because it's part of my reading challenge that I'm doing, and it was good. I mean, it's definitely a fan fiction, but it's still really well written, and I was like, and luckily it's a complete work too, so it wasn't like a what happens next, but
what happens next?
Also, yeah, I read fan fiction. I'll walk back my jokes slightly.
No, that's fair. I think we've all read fan fiction at a certain
I've
point.
written fan fiction.
I have also written fan fiction.
David and I, we technically just, without knowing it, we were in the same fan fiction circle before we ever
Oh my
met.
God.
This is true.
As far as anyone who's only recently started listening to the podcast knows, I've never written any fan fiction before ever.
I think that's a lie.
None.
Yep. I'm gonna
None
say
fan fiction. None fan fiction you can find.
I 100% believe Alan that he has never written any fan fiction.
Especially not about Bionicle.
Yep, that never happened. What's Bionicle? You'll never find it.
David,
here's how I know you'll never find it. I've tried to find it and I can't.
But you know it's out there somewhere.
The forums where it was posted,
actually, you know what?
Very gone.
I have struggled.
So you have.
I mean, no, I believe Alan, because there's this one fan fiction I read that was a Sailor Moon fan fiction from years ago. I have struggled and tried to find it. Like, I have scoured the internet. It is nowhere to be found, and I will never be able to read it again, which is disappointing, but oh well. Maybe it's bad.
If you want to get sad, think of all the old fan fiction archives we've lost with like the closing of like GeoCities and those types of places. Oh, it hurts.
Yeah, that is where the fan fiction was from. That Sailor Moon fan fiction was on
GeoCities.
Cities.
Is everyone ready? Is everyone ready for a tantalizing bit of information? I'll send
scared.
you all on. Yeah.
Oh, wait,
is everyone ready for this? I have
so.
I have not been able to find any of my fan fiction. I have, however, found fan art that a regular reader has drawn of my Bionicle characters.
Shut
Oh
up!
my God.
Well, now you can ask them, hey, do you still have a bookmark to this fanfic photo?
Oh my God.
You'll never find it.
If they did.
You'll never find it.
Hey, you want to feel old?
I'm so confident you'll never find it. I'm just saying it.
No, that's fair. But Alan, it dawns on me, since we're talking about Bionicle. Bionicle is technically 20 years old this year.
Yeah.
And now we feel old.
Thanks, David.
Hey.
Do you know what else came out 20 years ago?
No.
Well, I was gonna say Master of Disguise, but
no. Oh,
anyway,
dear.
what fan fiction are we reading?
We are reading a fan fiction, a creepypasta fan fiction, spooky fan fiction about Madoka Magica.
This is why Raevell's here.
Which is
okay.
It was brought up, and then Raevell is kind enough to join us.
Wait, no, I found it. Hey, no one go looking for it.
Oh my God.
You found it?
Nope.
It does exist.
Nope. We're not doing this.
When
Here's
are
your
we
David,
reading
save me.
that?
Edit all this out.
Can we be here for the? Can we read Alan's fan fiction on the next one, basically?
I don't know.
Sure.
We'd have to
hey
find
everyone, here's my PayPal, $5,000.
All right, we're gonna start a donation drive.
Ooh, if we do a charity stream, maybe we can offer that as an option.
Charity my ass. You give me $5,000.
I am the charity.
I mean, by that point, it is a charity. Alan, you're being charitable to us by letting us give you $5,000 to read your Bionicle fan fiction.
Yeah. Charity is going to people in need who have their Bionicle fan fiction read online so they could go to Disney World and drink to forget it ever happened.
Oh my God. You can never forget.
So the story was submitted to us by our patron, Christina Fick, who said that we are basically allowed to tear it apart, and sent us 3 different fan fiction, all of which have a Madoka theme to it. Now, normally we don't touch fan fiction on the show, but this is a patron, and these do have a creepy angle to them. So, and we were basically given carte blanche to kind of shred it. So I'm sure we won't go that far, but we'll see how we react to it. But yeah, obviously we're taking a lot of pot shots at stuff already just by dint of it being fan fiction. But what can we say? We all have written fan fiction. Some of us have written fan fiction that will only see the light of day if we give the writer $5,000. I'm just putting it out there right now. Alan's PayPal will be in the show notes.
So in terms of Madoka Magica, I think
After tax, $5,000.
I think most of us have only seen it once. Like Alan, Seid, and I have only seen it once all the way through, right?
A very long time ago.
Right.
And then I think Raevell has seen it the most out of all of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I'm gonna be the one who's most knowledgeable about it. It sounds like because I would list it under one of my favorite anime at least. So,
oh, nice.
David's never seen it before.
I've never seen it.
And then David's never seen it. Yeah.
No.
I remember one person's power was guns and there was a bad kitty.
One person's powers was guns.
Well, see, specifically, it was that she could slow time, and she just stole guns to use because
one
guns are
person's
OP.
power was stealing.
Exactly.
I do know one thing though that in the English version, or not English version, but the English dub, one of our acquaintances or someone we worked with, Sarah Ann Williams, does the voice of one of the characters.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness,
Do you know which one?
Blue-haired one.
The
Sayaka.
worst girl.
Yes. The worst.
Everyone
girl.
in Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah, literally everyone in Fire Emblem except Roy.
No, I was gonna say I'm sure there's probably gonna be a couple people who come after me today. What the fuck you call it, Sayaka worst girl? But yeah, she's my least favorite.
Yeah, I know that David also technically, quote unquote, sang with the English dub voice of Haruko, if I recall, that was her name. The gun girl. Homura. Yeah, sure. Christina V was the voice of Homura.
Oh yeah, I like to tell people that I sang with Shantae though.
So
Yeah.
Subaru is the one with the blue hair.
Subaru?
And
Did you just say Subaru?
and Hyundai steals guns.
Oh,
So
God.
And then, okay, what's the car version of Madoka?
Mitsubishi.
So what you're saying is this is what we're gonna, when we read this, is we're gonna call him Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi Magica.
Yes.
And a cat who is no good, but you don't learn that until like a few episodes.
Oh boy. So how are we gonna do this?
Well, the story while we were sent 3 stories, I actually asked Kaela to take a look at them and pick one, and Kaela picked probably the most lengthy of the bunch, which is called "Weep, My Lovely."
I felt it one like I did a quick read through, and from what I gather, there's a little bit of gore, but it's not too bad. And I feel like you could possibly read it and not need to know all about Madoka, but it's good to have that background. Maybe there might be something that'll come up that we won't know. Who knows? Or we need that.
What I want to know is how, if we're doing criteria of fan fiction as we're kind of evaluating the effect of the story, how well does it work in a vacuum and how well does it work as a fan fiction? I think is why one of the things we're going to have to discuss.
Also, writing's talent too, or not writing talent. That's mean to say. Writing how it works as a story.
Yeah, like that's what I meant. Like if you're not familiar with the story or with the characters, does it still work as a story? If you are, does it still work as a story?
What kind of a
You're
vacuum?
perfect for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So who goes first? Who goes?
And that I am a vacuum.
like a Dyson.
David said lengthy, chose the lengthier one, and I was like, oh no, lengthy fan fiction. What is this going to be, 20 chapters?
That's 6 pages.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but if depending on the fan fiction, it's 20 chapters or like maybe 19 paragraphs long.
Is this a slow burn? Because I'm not ready for that emotional trauma of a slow burn fanfic again.
I'm ready for you, said King DDD.
Oh, no.
All right,
But you keep in mind, in a Kirby fan fiction, it has to be phonetically written out, so it has King Dedede's Texan accent from the 4Kids dub.
Okay,
Oh, good.
How do we begin this?
Madoka was scared.
One day, things were normal. She came home from school to spend time with her family. They ate, played a board game, then had story time before bed. Madoka had gone to sleep, wondering on the exchange student the teacher... has gone to sleep, wondering how on the exchange student the teacher had teased about that day. Oh.
I think it should be had instead of has.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be had.
This is a grab bag version of the popcorn style. So whoever wants to take the next paragraph.
Isn't the popular thing in fan fiction now to write in present tense?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was intended to be, because if you continue, it's all past tense.
Yeah.
It's just this one.
Okay. The next, she woke to a place that wasn't her bedroom. It was entirely unfamiliar.
It was a bedroom, to be sure. The bed was soft and comfortable, made of the highest quality materials. There was an armoire full of clothes that had been in her dresser at home, plus a few different outfits. A vanity dresser also sat opposite in the round room, everything somehow specifically made to fit into the space. It was lavish jewelry and ribbons that were somehow things that Madoka had always wanted.
Yeah, there was something off. The walls, floor, and ceiling had a strange ethereal edge to them. The entire room came together at the top like a circus tent, yet seemed to have no depth, like they were somehow flat. She could swear the splattered rainbow of colors shifted when she wasn't looking, and there was the creeping feeling that something was watching her.
I heard ethereal
I always feel
edge.
like someone's watching me.
And I've got no privacy.
Oh.
There
ethereal
was.
edge made me think just like I'm already picturing this in like anime vision.
Yeah.
So like ethereal edge, I just pictured like this like Gaussian blur over like the whole screen.
Yeah.
I'm picturing everyone as a Bionicle. Is that not what we were doing?
Well, I mean, how, okay. I'm trying to think of what would represent Madoka as a Bionicle.
God, we are so
Would you
mixing
just
things
not
up.
put like Lily dresses on the Bionicle and call it good?
Can I just imagine her as a Mitsubishi? Let's just
What?
Yes.
This sounds like terrible Cars crossover fan fiction now, though.
now
Let's
it's
avoid that.
Transformers. Jesus.
There was one door to the room. It was a strange affair with intricate bars that were connected by the same material as the walls. It had no handle, only empty slot for one.
I'm trying to imagine this door right now. Wait, it was a strange affair with intricate bar. I'm confused by this door. Like, okay, all right, it's just, I guess it's a door that's made out of the wall, but there's only an empty slot in it. Okay. Sorry,
Okay.
I had to picture. My brain's like, why am I can't picture this for something.
I'm struggling with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Madoka circled around the room once more, trying to find some incongruity she could use to unravel the strange mystery of where she was. Again, she found nothing.
Her stomach suddenly growled loudly. She realized that she hadn't had her regular morning meal. There was no indication of time save for the hunger. Now that she thought of it,
Didn't she just wake up?
well, maybe she's just been walking in circles around this room for quite some time.
The stomach
But
growl.
what do cars even eat?
Feels very anime trope. You know, you can just hear that distinct sort of.
Like gasoline?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Absolutely.
I think it's Raevell.
And
Yes.
it's Raevell's turn.
Oh, whoops, sorry. Her head snapped up as the door slowly opened with a soft squeal. She rushed over to the door, hoping it led to the outside where she could gather some semblance of understanding.
Madoka blinked.
And that's a wrap for Alan. Thanks, Alan.
Thank you. Guessing blinked her headlights.
I'm guessing Blink 182 was there.
Yeah.
No.
Oh
And
no!
a
Don't
horse.
go there. No.
Dolphin.
God damn!
Why did you bring this up?
People are
Say
probably-
it ain't so.
No.
I will not go. Turn the lights off. Carry me home.
People are listening to this wondering why are they so disturbed.
It didn't dawn on me that it's an
Hi.
in-joke.
Welcome
only
to
a
the
few
newest
people know.
episode of Undercooked Analysis, where Alan refuses to step out of any of the bits.
Let's just say Alan showed us a horrifying comic that was associated with all the small things.
Hold on, let me hop on Google.
Oh my no!
No.
No.
It was her
no.
house.
I'm not sharing it here. I'm just going to tell everyone listening what they need to Google.
No!
to find what we
No!
talk
Why?
Don't Google it. Don't.
Just don't.
If you value your sanity.
If you value
Who's
sanity.
next? Someone fucking read.
David, it's your turn.
It was her house. But it wasn't her house. Everything, furniture, fixtures, walls, had the same texture as the walls in the room. There was nothing outside the windows but a dark emptiness. And at the table...
Alan's worst nightmare. Puppets. Strangely well made.
Oh! Good!
Strangely well-made puppets, with drawn-on empty eyes, and smiles of her mother, father, and brother were propped up at the table. In front of them were empty plates and empty glasses.
Empty chairs and empty table.
Wait, are these puppets like life size? That's even more terrifying. I was just picturing like little like pile of puppets on the table.
I'm like, we're in Coraline now.
Yeah, is this Madoka? Has Madoka been abducted by the other mother?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, is this that one terrible scene from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Is she gonna suddenly have to go into a refrigerator?
Oh no.
Set up in Madoka's spot was what looked like a real meal of rice, grilled fish, and miso soup. Oh, that sounds so good.
That sounds very good. Maybe I'll make miso after this.
Hmm.
As strange as the scene was, Madoka felt her hunger overcoming her fear. Still, she cautiously made her way to their spot. Carefully sitting down, she brushed up against the puppet of her brother. He didn't move, like he had been glued into place.
Madoka sniffed at the food cautiously before taking a sip of the soup. Her eyes opened wide at how delicious it was. It was exactly how she liked it.
Oh my!
It didn't take long until she finished up the meal, took out her phone, and Googled dolphin, horse, and Blink-182.
No!
She clicked on the first Reddit link and was very happy with what she saw.
So sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. I hate you, Ellen.
Also, hey, any kids listening, reach into your parents' wallet or purse and mail us their money. While we're making our listeners do highly irresponsible things.
Just comment with the credit card information.
Yeah.
Where are we?
No comment.
It's Alan's still turn. He's still supposed to read.
Man, I lost. Before I lost myself in the bit.
It
didn't take long until she finished up the meal. It was fantastic. Pure deliciousness. Everything Madoka loved in a breakfast.
The best part of waking up is puppets at your table.
The best part of waking up is dolphin in your horse.
You did this, David.
I didn't even think about it. I just was like, oh, Blink-182. And then I the floodgates open.
Oh, you found the secret words.
Nothing in this fanfic will be more disturbing.
This is where, like,
there you go.
So.
It's true. Hey, Christina, rest easy knowing that no matter how weird things get, this thing exists that Alan is talking about.
I want to cry.
No, I'm just deflecting. I am genuinely weird about the puppet thing. But, yeah.
David, it's your turn.
Madoka licked her lips as she looked around the knot house. It all looked drawn on, save for the open door to the bedroom. She got up to go to the porch doors. Her fingers traced along the picture of a glass door.
She sighed, closing her eyes as she did so.
Her eyes opened to find she was now standing back in the bedroom. The door closed once more.
Is this a dream? This feels very dreamlike from what I'm.
Is this something that happens in Madoka Magica?
No.
But they do go into other worlds to fight witches.
Okay.
That are I'm like wondering if maybe she's in one of those worlds.
So essentially what you're saying is in this show, witches get stitches.
They do.
Yeah.
They're also not like a traditional witch. They've completely lost like their mind and they're like monstrous. So, but they call them witches.
Okay.
Yeah, they're more monsters than witches.
I kind of figured. I remember that being a thing because I thought they like fought monsters and stuff. So I figured witches. I figured because the thing is in a lot of these like anime, like they'll be like, oh, here's a general term for the monster, and it'll be something like, you know, like you said, like witches, and I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, that's like capital W witches, like it's some kind of creature known as a witch.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have to share there's this one anime, and it was a garbage anime, but one of the things I thought was the most hilarious was they classified like how powerful a monster was by naming it like after horror like characters, and so there was like the Voorhees classification was the one that I remember the most.
What?
That was,
Jeez.
yeah. So just Voorhees in the middle of an anime, and it's like the fuck is referencing
What
Friday
anime was
the
this?
13th? It was a garbage anime. What was it called? Magical Girl Special Ops Asuka, something like that.
Okay. Huh.
It was like it was a magical girl anime that was trying to be edgy by having lots of violence and fan service and guns. So
I will say Madoka Magica is I do recommend it as an anime.
It is a good anime. Like I don't remember much of it, but I do remember I enjoyed it and I got through most of it. Yeah.
Well, that's
I
the thing.
did get through all of it.
Madoka was like the first one to actually like kind of start breaking the magical girl trope. And so everything else that's now edgy magical girl has come because of Madoka's success, but it was the first, and I think they've done it the best. Because a lot of anime are just trying to copy that edgy appeal without actually like, okay, but your story and your character still have to be good. Do you realize this?
Right, yeah. And I don't remember when I originally watched it, everyone being a car. So is that something they're doing for the fan fiction, or?
What's the car?
Oh, God.
Whose turn is it? I
my
think it's
turn?
Ray's turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Madoka rested her head against the wall, sweat pouring down her forehead. It was all impossible, entirely impossible, yet here it was.
Her sweat pouring down her forehead, knees weak, arms heavy, following her sweater roller.
Mom, spaghetti.
She wasn't sure exactly how long she'd been in the bedroom. Another meal had passed with the same knot house, with the same puppet family.
What was all this? I'm asking the same question. What had she done to be trapped like this? Separated from her family, friends, other people? She was alone.
Still, she kicked at the doors, scrabbled her fingers at the edges.
There was no give.
Then Madoka jumped as something hit the wall hard from the other side. The wall shattered like porcelain, falling down into nowhere. In their place were golden wires that were too close together for Madoka to do anything but reach through.
Oh no!
I will say that so far the writing is not bad.
Sorry, I'm saying oh no because of the paragraph I'm about to read.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
She looked out and wished she hadn't.
She
I
recognized.
looked out and now I wish I hadn't.
She recognized some of the people below her. Classmates, teachers, staff from the school. They were in an assembly line, forcibly held by puppets, and were being dragged down the line.
Hey!
Yes.
This is a cool dream.
I get a question.
This is a cool my nightmare.
I think of one of the things I'm confused by. So the wall closes, she looks down, forcibly held by puppets. Like, I think this part needs a little more description.
Yeah.
Also,
well, what I imagined was kind of like a tango line, but like there's a puppet behind each person that's kind of just like pushing them forward.
So the puppets are alive?
Maybe.
Yeah, and they're below her, so
they're being held by the puppet. So maybe they're not alive, but they're being restrained with puppets.
Wait, was she in an apartment? Did she live in an apartment? I can't remember.
No, she had a house.
So what it says she's looking down. Yeah, I think this part would need more description because I'm kind of
I think her bedroom.
I'm just
upstairs.
picturing like empty space, and you just like see a line,
void.
Yeah,
like,
but
you know what would make it, I think,
void,
a lot better.
Anime void.
But that void needs to be described at least. That needs to be shown.
Alan, what would make this?
What I think would make it a lot better is if there were no living puppets.
Everyone's just being carried by horse instead on the side.
And no, just no puppets.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you don't like puppets.
If there were no living puppets, living sentient puppets holding people down and doing people stuff, and everyone was like giving Alan like a hug and a sandwich. That I think would make the story better.
Toasted sandwich and some Baja Blast.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what kind of sandwich are we talking here?
an Italian
What's your comfort
sandwich.
Okay,
I'd say my comfort sandwich is. Well, you know what my comfort sandwich is. I think we share a comfort sandwich, one we can't have.
Holiday sandwich.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Alan, I love you.
Aww.
Wholesome.
Whose fucking turn is it?
I think it's mine, right?
Jesus.
Madoka gasped and reached out as she recognized one person in particular.
Sayaka. She was at the front of the line.
No, Madoka reached her hand out desperately for her best friend, tears dripping down her cheeks.
Subaru's gaze shot up to Mitsubishi. Fear shining in her eyes.
Oh, I'm so sorry, David.
That's fine.
This is a cool story for me and David.
I have a question for those of you familiar with Madoka Magica, but I'm going to hold on to it until we get to a certain point.
Okay.
The first scalpel sliced neatly through Sayaka's torso. Her body flailed, eyes widened in pain as she failed to scream through the pain. Her insides were neatly scooped out and fell to the empty abyss. Sayaka's eyes grew dim and unfocused. Oh, that was, at least she apparently died relatively. I don't know. Madoka desperately hoped her friend was dead as her head was cracked open and her brain was scooped out.
Oh God.
They're not, how?
Who's doing this?
Who's wielding the scalpel and the scooper?
Yeah, need more description for sure.
You know what I was picturing? I realized I have this bad habit of just like automatically filling in like the gaps in my mind, and because I think very visually, but I was picturing like giant like gloved Mickey hands. just the hands like floating, doing their thing.
Time to take out your brains.
Oh God.
Sayaka was then sewn back up before being tossed into a tub of some kind of viscous liquid.
Okay, who's doing this?
Yeah,
Why is this
the puppets?
Where is this happening?
Also, how does this? Okay, I'm waiting for the story to be
floating
connected some way canonically with Madoka Magica, besides just being like Madoka, the character Madoka is in a scary place.
So far,
With
it's
puppets.
just Madoka having a bad trip, and I have no idea how this correlates back to the series.
Mm-hmm.
Except that someone apparently thought, how could I fuck with David King and Alan Chaney?
What's
puppet
what
dismember
does David
somebody.
not like? What is,
Well,
David...
specifically,
Just-
I mean, torch. It's not bad enough yet that it's really getting to me. It's when it gets really gratuitous in its torture aspects, and it gets really gruesome in that way. You know.
If
Gotcha,
there's some very forced straight romance later on, then it will also be torture for Lorraine and I.
Yeah, see, that's ours.
Also, anything involving eye injuries, anything involving damage or anything to eyes gets me really bad.
Oh.
Oh, my turn.
Is it? Yes.
Then Sayaka, Sayaka?
Sayaka.
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 Sorry.
Thank you. Popped
Subaru.
out, limbs flopping like she was on strings from a new puppeteer. Her clothes had vanished, leaving her naked. It took a moment before Mitsubishi realized that
Sun-kissed.
had been modified in the liquid. All her orifices were gone, as though they had been All her orifices were gone as if they had simply been wiped away, as were the details of her body, such as the mole she hated on her shoulder. Who? The Madoka?
Sayaka?
I assume so.
No, Sayaka.
Madoka always hated Sayaka's mole. She quietly resented Sayaka because of that fucking mole.
And her nipples. She flopped over to the last.
I like that we specifically point out. It specifically points out this mole and her nipples.
She flopped
Wow,
over.
good to see you, Sayaka. I just got back from having like some lumps looked at, and it's maybe something to consider you doing.
Oh my God.
She flopped over to the last puppet in the line that proceeded to draw a happy expression on Sayaka's face.
Oh, okay. So it turned her into like a blank person.
So I assume
She has no
puppet.
ears, no eyes, no nostrils, no mouth, and must
She's-
scream.
Yeah. So they're being turned into puppets essentially.
Yes.
Madoka was very close to throwing up already. The sheer carnage in front of her was too much. So many people she knew and cared about were dying right under her, and she was helpless to stop it.
Another explosion caught her attention. Madoka gratefully took the distraction and ran to it on the other side of the cage.
We're in a cage?
Hypothetical cage? I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, I guess the walls broke away and she was in
And it was
what
wires.
was wires. Yes, I guess it's a cage.
I think the one thing that needs to be done to make the story better, because I don't know where this is going yet, but I know for a fact, describe your goddamn universe a little bit better. It needs more description. I am trying to visualize this, but I can't fill in everything in my head like this. Sometimes a little bit is good, but we need more. Are we in a fucking factory? Is this a void? Who is moving him along? Who did this? Who cut her open? More.
Are they going to give it? There might be answers. There might not be. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. It sure is fan fiction. Make of that what you will.
Whose turn is it?
I think no, wait.
What?
Hold on. I did the
I think
orphan.
it's Alan.
It's Alan's, yeah.
Okay. Where are we?
There was
The girl
girl.
was
Girl
There
was
was-
standing on the rubble of what looked like Mita
Okay.
Kahara.
Yep. There was a girl standing on the rubble of what looked like I'm so sorry, everybody.
Mita Kihara.
Mitsubishi Middle School. Look, Mitakihara Middle School's entrance gate. A blonde with dramatic curls dressed in a stylish brown and yellow outfit. The flower ornament in her hair was lovely.
okay. So we know who this is if
Yes.
we watch this
Yeah.
show.
Yes.
Yeah, who is this?
Mommy.
This is Mommy. She's like a experienced magical girl that Madoka and the girl that just was killed is beat early on.
She the one who steals guns?
No,
No.
she did
No.
have
No, she can actually produce guns. Not you mentioned it.
yeah.
Oh, the next paragraph clears that up. Actually, it says, "There were muskets won her hands, aimed up at the sky. Curious, Madoka looked where she was aiming."
Oh, it's my turn to chase. Her eyes widened as she took in a woman. As flat as the walls that caged Madoka, she was wearing a gothic dress. This is the gun girl. Her skeletal arms were locked by an old-style wooden handcuff. Her face, there was no face. Where there should have been one was instead overfilled with a red flower of some kind. Around her danced a variety of puppets, some flat like herself, while others were more of the fleshy variant.
I think this is the witch and not Homura. Or Homura. What was her name?
Yeah.
The lesbian? Homura? Okay.
The lesbian, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so this is a witch of some
This
kind.
is a witch, yeah.
Okay.
As to what looked like Miss Saotome had her head messily blown apart by a musket shot. Madoka froze. If these puppets had been real people, her family.
Page break.
Madoka shot straight up in bed. Her head shot around, trying to figure out what had happened. What was going on? What was that thing? So many questions with no answers. And the few answers she did have, she didn't want.
So it was a fucking dream.
I don't know. Well, see, that's what I don't understand. That's a good point. When you start something with shot straight up in bed, you assume dream. But then she's like, when she's trying to figure out what had happened, it's like, well, but if you were sleeping, then nothing happened yet, right? Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Your turn, David.
No, it's
It's Alan's
turn.
turn. Sorry, my
Yep.
bad.
She looked around at the sides of the room. Again, the messy rainbow walls were back. Oh no, she said. The messy rainbow walls are back, obstructing her view of everything outside of there.
Yeah, so now I don't know. That makes it even more confusing if what we just watched was did she pass out from the shock and horror or what?
Is it like a dream within a dream situation?
Are we in
We are
Inception?
inceptioning, yeah.
This is very vignette.
Inside a dream, inside a dream, inside a dream.
Inside a dream.
Madoka was almost relieved. The nightmares beyond the walls were too much for her to truly fathom. What anything was beyond what she understood. That's a weird sentence.
Mhm.
What anything was beyond what she understood.
The door creaked open again. Yes, Gracie.
Gracie agrees with me.
The door creaked open again as she looked over to it. Her stomach twisted at the idea of having to face her family, her mother, father, brother, all gone, sacrificed to whatever that monster was and used as playthings. Are we talking about the witch?
I think we're talking about like if she sees those puppets, she knows that was once her family, gutted and turned into puppets. I think that's what that's implying.
Okay.
Madoka couldn't make herself move. She couldn't face them. She would prefer to starve than go.
Hours passed like that. Madoka simply stared at the open door from where she was in the bed. There was nothing she wanted in that room.
A blink was all it took. True love. A blink was all it took. Suddenly the door was open in the other direction. Madoka could see, even from where she was, that the location was different. The smell of tea wafted from the room. Wafted, such a good word.
Wafted is a good word.
There's a couple of like good use of sentences in this, like the smell of tea wafted from the room. That's a great sentence. That's a nice little simple sentence.
It's still kind of in that like weird, vague, isn't this creepy vignette territory where I'm still like, where I'm hoping there's a payoff, you know, because right now I'm having a difficult time staying interested in what's going on because it's so vague.
It's too confusing, to be honest.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, isn't it creepy that this thing's happening? Like, I guess, but I don't really have a frame of context, and it's not just because it's a series I've never seen. I'm just having a hard time picturing everything.
Even with like what we know of the series, it's like we have no idea what's going on.
Like,
why would a car drink tea?
Invested.
I always, for some reason, every time you bring up the Cars thing, now all I can think of is this bit from the Adventure Zone, and they swear that day that boy turned into a car.
The Adventure Zone.
It might be safe. At least your family shouldn't be there. Hopefully, Madoka was getting hungry, and it didn't seem to go to her. And it didn't seem to go to her house. And even if it wasn't safe, was it really that much better than where she was? Madoka displaying the mild Jerison. I don't know.
It should be. It couldn't be any worse than where she was. That's is I think what they were going for there.
I think so. Yeah.
Madoka carefully walked towards the door and peeked in.
It seemed normal enough. A finely decorated apartment, though still the flat dimensions struck Madoka.
Ow. I've been struck, she said.
Last man criminal.
She felt like she should know this place. In the middle was a table set out with a tea time meal. A nice set of porcelain kettles and dishes were laid out. Food such as cakes and pies set out and sliced into perfectly even portions. On one side of the square table sat a puppet of a girl with the yellow curls wearing the same outfit as before. Another side had a puppet with long black hair and a practical purple outfit, the face left blank. On the third side. Okay,
Madoka
so we have...
Sorry,
I'm
Instead,
trying
she
to...
stumbled in half disbelief toward the third puppet. There you go. It's a short sentence.
That's fair.
I was trying to make sense. So we have Mommy as a puppet, who was the girl trying to save her earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then, is that black-haired puppet Homura?
I assume so.
Does she wear a practical purple outfit?
She wears purplish.
Yeah.
Practically purple in every way.
Purple and black are like her main colors.
Good color scheme, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Alan now.
Hmm?
It's Alan time.
Oh. Sayaka. Her short blue hair was distinctive, though the outfit was unfamiliar. It was a strange affair with a corset and a cape, all blue and black, while a musical note hairpiece laid in her hair.
Wait, question. Is affair also another word for outfit or
A strange, well, yeah, an affair can refer to a kind of like an ensemble.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's another way where English is just weird as a
Mhm.
language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just haven't heard affair used as an ensemble or an outfit or something.
There are some weird details here that I'm not quite.
Well,
The musical note hairpiece.
That's her magical girl outfit.
Yeah.
But why don't they, like, I assume this is written for people who, like, Madoka would know that that's the outfit. I don't.
Maybe she doesn't. That's the.
I am like half getting the suspicion, or like the way that makes the most sense to me, at least, is if this is supposed to happen within the canon, this is all happening before they like had any idea of what magical girls were and whatnot.
Yeah, because they don't find out until they meet Mommy, and she didn't know
Yeah.
who Mommy was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mommy was the blonde girl with the muskets.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Madoka collapsed next to her best friend. Then she gave the puppet a rough, desperate hug. Its skin was smooth and cold like wood under her hands. The puppet didn't move from its sitting position, hands set peacefully on the table.
Finally, Madoka began to cry. The tears before had been desperate. Now they were grief.
Her family was dead. Her friends were dead. Everyone she knew was dead.
The
Why?
end.
Yeah. Why? Why had this happened? Why was Madoka spared? What was with these elaborate mock-ups of places set like they were everyday scenes for Madoka's benefit? Wait.
Yeah. Thank you for asking all the questions we have, Story.
Yes.
Yes.
She doubled over, head hitting hard against the table as she simply let herself feel. I gotta tell you, how this looks in my mind is very funny.
The car. Yeah.
Not even a car, just someone smacking their face into the table in front of them.
That's what I assume.
No thoughts, just despair. And
No
a big
thoughts,
loud
head
bonk
empty.
noise.
Madoka jumped as something patted her on the shoulder. She shot up to find the black-haired puppet was rubbing her shoulder soothingly.
It was Lightning McQueen.
Follow your
Ciao.
dreams, said Lightning McQueen.
Ciao.
This person.
And also Tahu, the Toa of Fire.
What the fuck? This person, Madoka, didn't know. Why was she the only one to move?
Who are you? She dared to ask.
Who,
Dark
I really want to know. She followed.
The dark windows began to show a scene like a television. Suddenly, as if looking through someone's eyes, Madoka saw a disastrous scene. Desolation everywhere, a battleground where everything was destroyed. On one slab of concrete, Madoka stood, saying things inaudible to her. The person looked down at her dress, the girl's dress, before messing with the shield on her arm. A black gem on her hand glowed ever so slightly.
The scene changed. It was now third.
What? Okay.
It was now third person. Looking down at the girl as she laid in a hospital bed. A black egg-shaped jewel sat in her hands. It cracked once, twice, 3 times a lady before exploding in a blast of black. A swirling vortex flowed from it, a gothic dress forming. Sorry if I've been heavy on the jokes and bits, everyone. I read the Bible before this show.
God, what? So I'm trying to. I feel like which girl? Who is the girl? You know, again.
Maybe we're seeing, because okay, so David wouldn't know this, but the
Nope.
magical girls, when they become tainted, they turn into witches that then the magical girls have to kill, right?
Right.
Mhm, mhm.
So I'm wondering if like what we're seeing is what we saw was through the girl who this current witch that is, I guess, messing with her. If we were seeing through her eyes, and we're now seeing like when she became a witch.
Right.
It's like a fucked up version of the Ghostbusters.
but that's why I feel like it's confusing. Like, which girl? Like, you can't.
I
This is
feel
the
like
biggest
it.
thing with writing. You got to make it obvious when you start using descriptors like that.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Who are you talking about? The man, the girl, the brunette. Like, you can't just do that. It gets way too confusing.
So, David,
Uh-huh.
when you become a Ghostbuster, it is heavily implied that eventually you are going to die and will have to be busted by your friends, the previous Ghostbusters.
Oh my god.
That's not a terrible comparison.
Would it be in really bad taste then if, like, in the new Ghostbusters movie, the ghost of Egon shows up and they have to bust him?
I think it would be funny.
I
But again,
want to
read
see
the Bible
Dan
before
Aykroyd
this
bust
show.
the ghost of Egon.
Which book in the Bible or the whole damn thing?
I read the shit out of the Bible, which is why I'm really goofy and hungry.
Did you learn anything valuable?
I learned these sweet tarts ropes are really good.
Okay, where are we?
Oh,
I think it's David's turn.
is it?
I mean, I could read.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
another-
Yeah, sorry. Everything was black once more.
Madoka looked back at the puppet of the girl. I don't understand.
I think Alan's gonna hate this. The puppet shuddered before it leaned forward and brushed her face against Madoka's. If the puppet had lips, they would have kissed. It was only a kiss.
I'm sorry. The fact that you preface that with Alan would hate this. Oh, God.
Puppy kisses.
Puppy kisses.
No offense to the writer,
Uh,
but
An
what
alarm
if this?
from-
What if this story ate a dick?
Wow. Oh.
Like, it's only because
Could
the
you just
story has
remove-
puppets in
Can you
it.
just remove the puppets? Yes, yeah. Like,
Just remove
Oh,
all the
God.
puppets and you'll be
What if we read the word puppet as puppies now?
puppies. Yes.
Will
Sure.
that make you feel better, Alan?
Yeah,
That
let's-
everybody's
let's do
getting
that.
horribly tortured and killed, and when they come out of a viscous fluid, they're puppies.
Yes.
They're
At least puppies
puppies.
are supposed to be alive,
No, I just
And
pictured
a-
this really sad, cute puppy
not
licking
birthed
Madoka's
from
face.
the terrifying mind vagina of Jim Henson, America's greatest monster.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel about your man.
He
Glad
just
he's
did.
dead.
Oh my god! How dare
How dare you? Oh God.
I hope he's
An
having fun
alarm-
with Hitler in hell.
Oh my god.
Whoa. An
dude!
alarm- An alarm from somewhere blared. The girl puppy shot up into the air. Madoka followed it to find there was no ceiling, and her strings as they were manipulated by the monstrous woman in the gothic dress. Wait, what? Okay. Madoka followed it to find there was no ceiling, and her strings as they were manipulated by the monstrous woman in the gothic dress. That's a really confusing sentence.
I think that means
Yeah.
the thing, the puppy, is being controlled by a giant version of the gothic woman.
So the witch is
All I want to do is see you turn into a giant woman. A giant woman.
Oh my God. It's my theme song. Madoka now noticed chains on the woman as they were being pulled.
Is that also a witch thing?
No,
nope.
Oh.
I mean the witches have their own powers, so I guess that's
Each
the
one
witch is
is
manipulating her.
also like very distinctly different in appearance.
A witch could have chains on them, but
Yeah. I think it's Alan's turn.
yeah, Alan.
No, please, don't go. Madoka shouted at them. Say it ain't so. I will not go.
I fucking hate you so much right now, Alan.
Thanks everyone for enjoying my last episode of Undercooked.
I love the fact that like so many if people have not left because they saw the Blink 182 thing, have left. There may be more that have left because you said that Jim Henson's now with Hitler, and now more have left because I have said that I hate you, Alan Cheney. How dare this bitch say she hates Alan Cheney? He is America's greatest sweetheart. How dare you?
No,
Yep.
I think I chose violence on today's episode.
It's true.
Yes.
Before this started, I enjoyed 30 milligrams of the Bible, and just decided just to really make myself the villain of this show.
We're almost done.
No, please don't go, Madoka shouted at them.
Wait,
don't leave me alone.
Don't go!
Turn the lights off. Carry me home.
Go, David, swear to God.
So what you're telling me is that if you read the Bible, it just turns you into the kind of person that makes you want to ruin everybody else's fun.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just kind of in a weird mood tonight, I think.
The puppets didn't help, right?
Yeah.
David.
No, the puppets are... It's the puppet agita and the Bible and...
David, for the love of God.
Think about, Alan, if it helps, think about CM Punk.
I was
Think
about to
about-
do the same thing. What would
think about
CM
Cocaine
Punk
Bear.
do?
Cocaine Bear? What?
The two good things that happened yesterday.
Hey, anyone new to this podcast, did you enjoy any of this?
The
Did any of the previous sentence make even a lick of fucking sense to you?
This one's
No.
for the enfranchised listeners.
So,
The woman and
okay.
puppet vanished into the blackness around the room. There.
Madoka stood, shocked. She hesitantly wiped her eyes with the sleeves of her shirt.
When she opened her eyes, she was once again in the bedroom, but now in the middle was a table. All around it, the puppies of her family, her
Aw.
friends, her teachers, all sat at attention, tails wagging as if they were waiting for her.
This is so wholesome. This mental image you've given me.
Madoka stared, then she laughed. Once, a couple of times. There was a torment of gut-wrenching laughter and barking.
Happy yelps. It never stopped. There, we're done.
There you go.
Yay!
Yay!
There was no payoff.
I think it was supposed to be just a nightmare.
I don't particularly enjoy stories that are just it's a nightmare and you'll never wake up.
Yeah.
There needs to be, I don't know. It seemed like it only, even with my understanding, it seemed like it only was tangentially related to the source material.
Yeah. Here's
Yeah.
the thing. If there had been some, like, again, I'm just like, who was the witch? Because the witch, spoiler alert, is a girl, right? It's always a normal girl who becomes a witch.
Right.
Mhm.
So is it just an OC? Like, you can't, like, even as a Madoka story, you gotta have that. Where did the witch come from? I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, I just
We need
I
more,
I like the concept, but
especially
I
if
feel
this,
like it just doesn't work.
especially if this was one of the timelines that where I am blanking on her name. Homura like was trying to stop. I mean, that could be an interesting take.
Yeah, I 100% assumed it was going to be Homura who was doing all this.
Yeah,
so I
same.
don't like that threw me when it's like, no, she's here, she's a puppet. You know, maybe it is supposed to be her, but again, we don't. When you use the description, the girl, I don't know what that means. You know, are we talking? Is it the transfer student? Like that? Please, who was the girl that she saw in the hospital bed? I don't understand.
I'm so lost. I don't even know how to rightly evaluate
I
this.
I really think, like, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I think it's just Coraline, to be honest. I think it's the story of Coraline, and the other mother is other Homura, I think. And, you know, the puppet was other Homura, I guess, and Homura's evil transfer student. That's what I'm gathering from
I
this.
completely
That's the only-
forgot about the fucking transfer student detail. I think it was like an original witch, and it was just kind of like she's not even a magic. Madoka's not even a magical yet, and it's just like
But
an
it
evil.
seems weird to say gothic because Homura has like a gothic motif, right? So you're gonna say there's two gothic girls. That's also strange. And again, unless you're gonna focus on this OC at another point, then it doesn't work, I feel.
Goths.
But again, if it was just Coraline with Homura, then it makes perfect sense, and you just need to actually make that more clear, you know.
I think
Goths everywhere.
I think that was the biggest issue. Is like nothing was clear enough.
Yeah, more description, more details.
To me, it just kind of seemed like vague, spooky imagery with like a isn't that spooky vibe. And I'm like, yeah, sure, but that I don't have any stakes in any of this. And even with the context I've been given, I still don't feel like the stakes are that high. Because I don't have like we don't understand the situation. Is Madoka in any real danger, or is this all just some weird dream? Is anyone outside of her even real, or are they just illusions?
And if
here's the other reason.
Okay, go ahead. You go.
No, I was gonna say here's the other reason it has to be Homura, because otherwise it makes no sense that Madoka would not be killed. Like,
yeah, that's exactly what I was just about to say.
Yeah, so it has to be. It's Coraline with Homura. That's 100% what I'm getting. Like, there's two Homuras. There's the wholesome puppet Homura who still has a semblance of humanity, and then meanwhile she's turned into a witch in this, and that's the antagonist. But again, you got to make that more obvious and clear.
Mm-hmm. And I know this writer can do descriptions. I mean, in the beginning, there is actually some. You can actually see some good descriptions here and there popping up. We need more of that. Like, I need more details.
Yeah, so I don't know if you think you'll hear back from the writer on this. Like, I would love it if they would confirm, is the witch Homura? Like, please, I have to know for the sake of my sanity. Or is it an OC? Please.
Yeah, I'm curious too, because again, it sounds like with more for y'all with more context, it would be a little more satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah, because then, like I said, if it was, and I feel like it could, like, the putting Madoka in a cage, like, yeah, like, all of this just strikes me as it has to be Homura, you know? It's just evil Homura also has a puppet of herself to throw you off or something. I don't know. But it also makes sense why she was the only puppet who could, like, still move, you know?
Does Homura have feelings for Madoka?
Yes.
It is strongly hinted.
Like big lesbian energy.
Oh, yeah, it is strong.
That's why I was like, what's the name of the lesbian earlier?
Okay, because I was also getting
that's canon. Yeah.
With that in mind, an evil version of Homura would be like, I'm gonna keep you basically in this like puppet dollhouse thing and essentially psychologically torture you because I'm obsessed with you and want to, that feels like it's possessive.
Okay. So does anybody mind spoilers for the movie? One of the movies?
Nope.
Yeah, I've seen the movie, but if this has something to do with the movie, why didn't she just use the evoki that allows you to spread understanding?
Okay, I'm just commenting on the fact. I'm like, wait, what? Maybe I didn't see the movie. Well, there's two movies. I saw the second movie. Movie.
That was me continuing to be the villain of this show. I'm sorry.
That's what I figured. Okay. Yeah, that's what I assumed because but I had not seen the first movie because it was basically just a recap of the series. So I saw the second movie, which is a continuation of the series. But Homura does go full evil yandere kind of at the end of that movie. So like that's what I assumed it was, like the continuation of that, but more evil. Maybe potentially. So
I'm sorry. I get I get it, but like I'm still losing my shit because it took me a full like 5 or 6 seconds for it to kick in what Alan was talking about. Yeah, that we had gone back to Bionicle, and I'm like, oh yeah.
I
had no idea. I just assumed it was Bionicle, but I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. So
the Kanoi Evoki, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Worn by the Toa Takanuva.
God damn it.
Of light.
Because light spreads understanding, you see.
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe there can be a Madoka and Bionicle crossover pick somewhere.
This goes
that sounds like it would help.
Maybe someday Alan and I could just have a deep dive discussion about Bionicle.
Well, I mean, if we're reading fan fiction now, Alan. Someone starts.
Hold on. Let me check my PayPal account real quick. Nope.
Freshest readings, I guess.
I will give this story a blink out of 182.
I hate you so much. I just started hating everyone.
Today, it's that kind of we're bringing some weird energy to the table tonight. Hey, Raevell, yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just figured this was how it usually was. This is fun.
Oh no.
No, it's kind of a weird night.
It is kind of a weird night.
You know what? I will rate this as making up a song about Coraline.
Yes.
Playing the piano with the voice of one of the Johns.
Thank you for making it wholesome again.
I think I'll give this a full tub of viscous puppet fluid.
I used to play bass for viscous puppet fluid.
I'll give this 5 Cubase. Just 5 Cubase.
It's very upsetting.
I'll give this a standard Matoran out of a possible Toa Nuva.
Hey, Alan, remember when they were called Tohunga?
I do.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention that. I don't know why. Anyway, hey, thank you, Christina, for being willing to share this with us. And being, like, on all honesty, I hope you enjoy us reading it and giving our honest opinions. I deeply appreciate they were willing to let us have our honest opinions on this very, very strange episode. Raevell, thank you for joining us last minute.
Yeah, I was gonna say major kudos to anybody who is literally like, here's my fan fiction, tear it apart. Like, honestly, don't like my advice is like, do not stop writing, keep going, always write.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I wrote fan fiction years ago, and I feel like my writing has become so much better because I wrote fan fiction, and then I continued from there.
Well, fan fiction is a superb outlet. I wrote a ton of fan fiction when I was like a teenager, so yeah.
Yeah, and I never wrote any.
Unless you send him $5,000, and then maybe
it's possible that you wrote a fan fiction.
Then we will rewrite time and go into a timeline where Alan did write fan fiction. And
Yeah,
we'll bring
but
that
you
up
need a
for
really
you.
rare mask for that. One composed of the 6th grade Kanoida. Anyway,
plug, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's that time. Hey, if you want to be brave like Christina and send us stuff, although we might be a little more we don't just want to read fan fiction. I know the reason this was submitted to us is because it's got a horror bent, but that's fine. If you want to submit some spooky horror fiction to us to read, our inbox is open. You can email us at midnightmarinara@gmail.com, and we will take a look and potentially read your story on our podcast with your permission. If you are a patron of ours, patreon.com/midnightmarinara, you get it at any level. We will attempt to, as best we can, prioritize your story. Christina is a patron and has been long overdue for this, but mostly I wanted to make sure we had a time we actually had enough people here who knew what Madoka Magica was. So
Yes.
yeah, which helps because I've never seen it. So I wanted to make sure it got the the care it deserves in that respect. But yeah, if you want to do that, and you can hear the Choice Dregs segments we do before that. And you can also hear a lot of extra stuff that we've kind of saved up over the years of having this and Midnight Marinara as podcasts. Speaking of which, the home of this podcast and Midnight Marinara is Creative Horror Network. You can go there to check out The Witching Hour and Trick or Track and Darkly Lit and these 2 shows that I just mentioned. Yes.
At creativehorror.com.
At creativehorror.com. Oh, I'm sorry. Creativehorror.net. It's .com. Yeah.
I guess we're done. So turn the lights off. Carry me home.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There will be no carrying of anybody going.
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinara, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.